Welcome back, guys. In this session we are going to discuss about the date function in Excel. The date function combines separate year, month and day values and converts them into a date serial number formatted as a date. This is the syntax of the date function. The first argument you pass into the date function is the year. The value of the year argument can include 1 to 4 digits from 1900 to 9999. The next argument is the month argument. A month argument is a positive or negative integer representing the month of the year from 1 to 12, that is January to December. The next argument is the day argument. A day argument is a positive or negative integer representing the day of the month from 1st to 31. This is the example of the date function. If you pass 2024 as the date, 5 as month and 30 as day, it is going to return this serial number which represents May 30, 2024. For you to understand the date function better, let us jump into Excel. I open Excel. We are going to practice with the data we have here. Let me just select a random cell here. I go to the formula bar. Let me type equals to date. And the first argument the date is requiring is year. Let me type the year as 2024. Separate it with comma. The next argument is the month argument. Let me pass 1 as the month, which represents January. Separate it with comma. Now the next argument is the day. I type 1, which represents 1st of January. I close the function. I press enter. You see it returns the date. Okay, you can see the cell now has been converted to date. So if you want to see the serial number, all I need to do is to change this date format to general format, and you can see that it returns the serial number of that date. Let me select this cell once again. I type equals to date. Let me type 2024 as the year, the month as 5, the day is 30. Let me close the function and press enter. It returns the date, but the serial number behind it is, if I change this into general now, you can see that I have the serial number of that particular date. Okay, let us fill this table. I have this column that contains the day. I have another column for the month and the year. Let me select this cell. I go to the formula bar. Let me type equals to date. I will pass the year as the first argument. Separate it with comma. The second argument is the month. I select this cell. Separate it with comma. And the last argument is the day. I select this cell that contains the day. Then close the function and press enter. You can see it constructed the date with this formula. Let me use the autofill to get the others. You can see I get the corresponding dates. Okay, if I want to get the serial number, all I need to do is to select this cell, go to the formula bar and type equals to, I will just put whatever I have here, okay, and press enter. It will return it as a date, but I can change it to a general format. Select it. You can see I have the serial number. I can use the autofill right now to get the rest. Okay, this is their serial numbers. Okay, if I want to show you the formula I have in these cells, I select this cell, I go to the formula bar. I'm going to use the formula text. I type equals to formula text. I pass this cell, close the formula text function and press enter. You can see the formula here. Then I can use the autofill to get the rest. And this is what we have here. You can see it is showing the date function formula and their corresponding arguments. We can also use the date function to add or subtract month, year or day to a date. We are going to practice it with this data I have in this session. I have the column that contains the day. This column contains the month. This one contains the year. This increment by is just a normal text that I type here so that you will see what we are going to do in background. Okay, so this is a text that represents what we are going to do in background. Then this is where our result is going to be. So let's select this one. Let us add 2 years. Okay, I select this here. I go to the formula bar. I type equals to date. the first argument is going to be the year. I select this cell that contains the year, but I want to add 2 years to it, okay? All I need to do is to type +2, then separate it with comma. I need to select the month. This is the cell that contains the month, then separate it with comma. This cell contains the day. I select it. Let me close the function. What I did here is that I am adding 2 years to the date that I'm going to get. Remember, in background, it is going to construct a date March 15, 2024. But if I'm adding 2 years, it means 2024 plus 2 years is going to be 2026. It's going to be March 15, 2026. Let me press enter now so that we see the result. Do you see that it returned March 15, 2026? This is because we added 2 years, okay? You can see it in the formula. We added 2 to the year, and it is returning 2026. Let me press enter once again. Now let us add 3 months to this date, okay? So I select this cell. I go to the formula bar. Let me type equals to date. I select the year, separate it with comma. I select the month, but the month I want to add 3 months plus 3. I add +3, separate it with comma, then add the date. Let me close the function. If we add 3 months to the month of March, we are going to get to June, okay? So let me press enter now. Let's see whether we are going to get to June. And this is it. You can see we have June 15, 2024. This is simply because we added 3 months. Okay, now let us subtract a year. Let us subtract a year. I select this cell. I go to the formula bar. Let me type equals to date. Then I pass the year. But now we need to subtract 2 years. Okay, if I subtract 2 years now, let me type -2. Separate it with comma. I pass the month. Separate it with comma. Pass the day and close the function. If we subtract 2 years from 2024, we are going to get 2022. Let me press enter now. You can see we get March 15, 2022. Okay, you can do the same thing to subtract 3 months. You can also add 5 months to this date and also add days. Okay, you can add 5 days to the date we have here, so you can get the result. Okay, this one is going to be part of assignment, so you can do the same thing to get these ones. Okay, I hope with these examples and illustration, guys, you can be able to use the date function to construct a date from a valid year, month, and day. Thank you for watching.